So it really doesn't matter. Okay, go ahead. What's your question? If we were
Um,
to take what you had messaged me, is like this: mind only gets heated when we desire sensory experiences to be as per our liking expectation rather than uh, as per cause and effect. Uh, okay, so what's the question you have?
well, I guess it's really, I mean, okay, so I feel like the restraint of the senses is something that I really need to work on because it's like to reach like a arahat, that's like one of the main things that you have to do, correct?
Not only that, even if you want to get into anagami, you should do that. See,
Okay.
rather than struggling so much, if you look at the principle of Buddha Dhamma, it's there in many sutta, but let's take this sutta called as Samannapala Sutta, which is DN2. Okay, you don't have to run and get that, but you can look at this way. Number one is the development of the morality to the highest level. Okay, now you will come to know whether you have reached the highest level or not yourself. So nobody needs to define that. Okay, so once I know I have reached a good level, then how do I know is that my activities in the day start to be more vibrant. I can see things clearly. So it will not allow me to do any kind of mistakes, which I used to do earlier. Okay. So that's how I can find out, oh, yeah, my morality is improved. And that's the reason I'm able to see things much clearly. Okay. Now what happens? Then we need to practice guarding of the sense doors. Now, what is this guarding of sense doors? It means that, let's say, I take an object and I start looking at an object and possessing as mine. It can be a sight or a sound or a taste or a touch and a smell and a thought. Either I like it, so like the chitta runs towards that object, trying to grab it, make it as mine because I like it. Or I don't like something, it just wants to throw it out. I don't want it. These are the two things which happen when I see a sight and I see a sound like that. Okay, now how do I do it? Yes, I understand this much, but how do I do it? So there is this process. The process here is that you need to know out of the three characteristics, either it is anicca, so we can define it as not to one's liking or impermanent or arising and passing away or whatever we can look at it. Okay? If that is difficult for me, I'm not able to understand that Pali word and all that stuff. No worries. Look at the pain you're taking to possess that item. Everything is painful. So no pain, no gain. So that is an English proverb. Let's keep that only. We don't require to do anything funny. So I can now see that possession means pain. Non-possessiveness means no pain,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Now the question comes, why am I possessing it? Because I like it. Even if I want to throw it out, I need to possess it. Now this Aryu is there. Let me see if he wants also to join.
Um, I don't want to bombard you with a lot of questions, but just to get clarity, okay, so you said when your morality has peaked, you can tell. because you don't make, say, simple mistakes throughout the day. Or
Right,
like, it's like, what if throughout my daily routine I'm having all kinds of like epiphanies? It's like, okay, it's kind of odd, but like, say something today, I was driving and there's like these streets, the way they were in order, it was like made out of like Franklin D. Roosevelt, the president. And it's like, I've drove by these roads so many times, but I never put the pattern together. And I was like, oh, that's after one of the United States of America's presidents, and like I was seeing the pattern, but like that happens to me a lot throughout the day now. Like things that I used to be oblivious to.
right. So that clarity comes due to morality.
Okay. So
Okay.
that's kind of what you were talking about. So
Right, right.
that's a
So
good
you
sign.
become more aware of the
Okay.
surroundings. You earlier you just drive. You have no idea what's happening because you're lost within yourself, and then you just drive. Now here you are not lost. You are observing everything. So your mindfulness increases, right? So samadhi leads to uh, sorry, the sila morality leads to samadhi, and samadhi leads to panya. If we were to make that into an English thing, the more the morality increases, the more your mind becomes stable to stay on something, and it's able to observe everything. It's not just one thing, it is able to observe every damn thing which is happening. So I'll be shocked, right? I didn't know this. I didn't know that this existed. I didn't know that has happened. I didn't know this is how it is. You feel, wow, zapped by that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then your wisdom is increasing. So, like you talked about Roosevelt, that president of America, you had been going on that road forever, but now you're able to see that, right? So you feel, wow, this is strange, but it's not strange. It's your samadhi is increasing. Even though it's a worldly thing, it's okay. We don't have to beat ourselves up that it should be always out of the world, not worldly. First and foremost, we were not even seeing that it existed. The damn thing existed,
Yes.
right? So people, what they do is they think spiritual is something totally different and the worldly is something totally different. No, spiritual is that you experience every damn thing without getting associated with it. So there is a disassociation in that association. Worldly thing is that you get associated, you get into reality that this is it, this is what it is, right? And that's what we call as a world, because the world consists of six senses: the sight and the sound and the taste and the touch and the smell and the thought. That's it. So this is what I consider as the world. So either I'm seeing something or hearing something or tasting something or touching something or smelling something and thinking something. Now, when your morality increases, you are able to shut down this machine which keeps on going out and seeking out, oh, you know what, that is there, this is there, this is there, that's. You slow down. So when you slow down, automatically you are able to see many things which was not visible at that point in time because the mind was distracted. Got the point?
Yes.
Okay. So there's nothing called special thing that you need to stop the senses. There's nothing special.
Okay.
So we need to stop doing something special about everything because we're already doing something special. What is that? We are naming things, we are making things, we are doing things. That is making things special. That's called sankhara. You do something which never existed in the first place, right? So what we're doing is we have stopped preparing things. So the way it is, it's truth, not the way it is prepared to be. Let's say I prepared a dish. That's not how it is. It's prepared. If it is prepared, it's going to decay. And when it decays, you're not going to like it. And when you don't like it, you cannot say it is mine. So if this body is prepared, do you like it? It's prepared, but you don't like it for the very reason because it's prepared. And if you keep something which is prepared, it is going to bring you suffering, nothing else than that. And now you cannot call this is mine because in number one, it is already prepared. So nothing more you can do about it because it's prepared. This body is prepared by food. Nothing I can do about it, right? So I need to unprepare in the mind. I cannot unprepare this body, but I can unprepare the mind. The association can be removed, and hence Nibbana is possible, right? And that's all what that Harshil has sent. But it is so much of a text, it gets things totally confusing that what what it is. There's nothing like that. One is conditioned, conditioned by six senses. Another one is not conditioned. So I'm not seeing things the way I want to see it. I am not hearing things the way I want to hear it, like that. So if I don't have that, then the seeking of Nibbana also is not there because that also is condition. I'm conditioning this is Nibbana.
Because then it would be like with the condition, it's like you never really could experience nirvana because it's like you have this idea of what it's supposed to be made up in your head, and
Right.
that's not what it is.
That's not what it is. So it cannot be grasped by six senses. So what he has put there is right, but so much of text is not required. It's overwhelming text. I keep on telling him, don't put so much of text. You share the experience. Don't put the text. That is, text is coming from some website. You don't have to copy and paste it over here, right? And the more text you write, the more confusing it is going to be. Especially when you put English and Pali and saying that this you should know, that you should know. It's like a monkey climbing a mountain. It's not
Yeah,
going to
because
work.
yeah, because that's what, when I seen it, I was like, and so many people were commenting on it, so I was like, it's got to be something good, but I was lost
Yes,
completely.
you anybody would be lost. So I tell him, don't do that. If it is your own, you share it. Absolutely appreciable. But don't just copy things from internet and then paste it here. This is not a place for that. But then he feels otherwise. I can't do anything about it. I can tell anyone once or twice, and after that, I feel that if somebody is getting benefited, why not let him send whatever he wants?
Right, because there might be that one person that can
That
fully
can do that.
comprehend.
Yes. So there might be someone who can really feel, oh yeah, this information is so nice. Okay, good. So why should I come in the way of things? Let them deal with it. Absolutely fair. But what's the message all about? So now I want Nibbana. No, that's not how it is. You stop conditioning things. You are already in Nibbana, right? That's all what it is. I need to have the cake. Sorry, just eat. Don't call it anything. Just eat it. Ah, it's of this taste. Sorry, that's not how it is. You're imagining the taste of that. If you ask me, you're going to get a taste of salt, you can go to taste of sugar, you're going to taste pungent, you're going to taste astringent like that, but you're never going to taste the cake. There is no cake to taste, right? There's absolutely no taste to cake. You cannot taste a cake. You can taste it as sweet, fair. You can taste it as sour, fair. You can taste it as astringent, fair. You can taste it as spicy, fair. You can taste it as bland, fair. But there's no cake to taste that's prepared. And anything that is prepared gets under the anicca nature of it. Because the damn thing doesn't exist in the first place. So it should have an existence. So what will you do which doesn't even exist? It exists only in the mind, nowhere else.
Yes.
And I imagine the thing what I ate is a pudding or a cake or let's say brownie or this or that. And like that, I keep on doing that. Oh, the phone what I have is iPhone. Sorry, what you have is a metal and a glass. It's not an iPhone. It's prepared out of the glass, out of the metal. It's not made out of anything else. And some bunch of plastic. Yes, it is packaged as an iPhone. Fair, but it's prepared. If it is prepared, it's going to get destroyed. Isn't it or not? And the answer is yes. So you need to take tremendous suffering to retain that iPhone. It can be stolen, it can break down, it can burst out open, or it might stop working. It requires a software upgrade, a fair lot of things. And after a while, Apple is going to say, we have moved away from this model of iPhone. We are now only dealing with that kind of iPhone. So anybody having this kind of iPhone, it's end of life. Why? It's conditioned. Anything that has a condition ends with death.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
That's all what it is. So you don't worry about that a huge text, what is written, or what is the thing to be known is that if anything whatsoever is conditioned, including this body, if anything I've learned as this and that, and I'm working for this place and that place and all that, it's just a condition. As long as condition matches, it seems to be working. But when the conditions change, it stops working, right? So let's look at this example. As long as consciousness exists in the body, you seem to be making sense. But when the consciousness is not there in the body doesn't make any sense. It makes nonsense. They're going to dump the body either in the mud or burn it or do something about it. Nobody can keep that body and say, you know what, he was my friend, the closest friend, let me keep him. Sorry, that damn thing is going to decay and is going to rot, and a huge amount of these insects and the maggots are going to come out of that body. And after a while, the body gets decomposed. And that's it. There was no friend in the first place, or there was no wife in the first place, or in the husband in the first place. There's nobody there in the first place. So the non-Nibbana is holding on to this, and Nibbana is letting go of that. Got the point? That's it. Very simple,
Okay.
very straightforward, very honest. Being honest about it, right? For that, you need to have the sealer, because without that, you can't see this, because consciousness is supposed to be pure. With the defilements, it becomes impure. Now you're making you as a consciousness, you're removing the dirt so that you can see things as they are. And that helps you, that consciousness, to be in samadhi. And it stops the senses, the consciousness going around the senses. It will stop. So when there is no grasping of the senses, meaning grasping of the sense stimulus and taking the objects through the sense door, the consciousness becomes pure. And when it is pure, it experiences itself, which is Nibbana. It doesn't require any stimulus now, any longer. So it has seen that there was no person in the first place, there is no this in the first place, no that in the first place, and he can stay in that forever. And if he can stay in that forever, then there is no this sensuality. There is no thing called as the form realm. There is no thing called as a formless realm, because it doesn't create anything of that. If it is not creating anything of that, then there is no restlessness. If there is no restlessness, then there is nothing called as I am. If there is nothing called I am, then the avidya, ignorance, is gone, and hence arhat.
And so, if there's with there being no sensuality, would that mean like you're not swayed by your emotions or anything? Because
Nothing, because that is what anagami would experience. So when there is no sensuality, you would be compassionate to everyone, that's true, but you will not be emotional. There's a huge difference between a compassion and an emotion.
right,
Emotion has color, it's colored. That's the reason we say colored by emotion, because emotion comes with some color. I will see it the way I want to see it. Oh yeah, you know what, this happened, you know what, that happened. That's the color, what I am doing. Whereas it's uncolored, seeing the things as they are. So he is accepted to it. You know what? There is nothing called as happiness in the eyes. There is no happiness in the ear, or in the nose, or in the tongue, or in the body, or in the thought. There's no happiness out there. In fact, there's only suffering of holding it. I love this sight, but it doesn't stay. What do you want me to do? And I say that I want Nibbana. First, I have to stop holding on to something, right?
yes,
If I am not holding anything, then the Nibbana is the natural state. So there are four which are real. One is the Rupa form. Second one is the Chitta, mind. Third one is Chetasika, the mind objects. And the fourth one is Nibbana, the unconditioned. So these three are conditioned, the other one is unconditioned. You cannot condition the unconditioned. I say, I want to see the unconditioned. That's not going to happen. So
you
the
know,
first,
I never really realized that until now. It's like it's not really about obtaining anything. It's about like
Giving up.
getting rid of a lot of things.
Yes, that's all. So he says, give up, yield rather than acquire. Not that you should starve to death. No, that's not the intent. The intent here is know the things they are. They decay, they die. You can't hold anything at all. You hold for your name. In 100 years, that name is going to get expired. You hold on to a fame. It will expire the sooner somebody does something better than you, right? Then you hold on to the health of your body. That goes away all the time. And you have to keep on giving that right condition. You have to give the nutrients to the body, then it works. Otherwise, you can wish that I shouldn't get unhealthy, but that doesn't do anything. That it has your wish cannot be granted because it depends on the condition. However, I can accept that the body is impermanent. That I can know. Why? Every 4 hours it requires feeding. If it were to be real, then there was no feeding required. And every damn 4 hours I'm giving it something or the other. Water, that means I have to replenish water, or I have to replenish the food, or I have to replenish both. Then I have to cover this damn body up, otherwise it looks so ugly. I have to cover it up. It oozes from everywhere. From below something will come, from above something will come, and from each part of the body some smelly substance is going to come. To cover that up, I need to put something, and I need to put some perfume. Otherwise, it becomes stinking. Nobody going to come near me. If somebody has to come near me, I should be presentable. That's preparation, my dear friend. I'm preparing the body. The body is not preparing me. I am preparing this damn body. Now I have to take it on a walk. I don't require walk. This damn body requires a walk. Like a dog being put on a leash and taken for what it wants to do. I need to carry this body to the restroom and then it'll pee. Otherwise, the body doesn't know that it has to go to the washroom and do it. It will do wherever it wants. Right? It
Yeah.
doesn't know. It has no damn intelligence. Say that, hey, you know what? Why don't you take me there? No. It will do where it wants to do. You don't want it to do where it wants to do, then you take it where it has to do. If you were so nice, why do you require a bath? There was no need for a bathroom. And you don't require to take shower. You don't take shower. You put the shower on the body. Because body requires shower. So this body is conditioned, right? The whole body is conditioned, including the eyes and the ears and the nose and the mouth and the skin is conditioned.
And so, or
Yes, go ahead.
okay, so then like that plays into the non-self, which I guess like and unless you know the true meaning of it, you take that as like there's no me whatsoever.
Correct.
But it's more about like, it's like no, not having any conditions, or like not being attached to anything that's not permanent and
Right.
things like that. Like, I mean, there's, because this is something that throws, it kind of gives me a hard time, because it's like I am meditating and I am like doing work to uncondition myself, but it's like, does that fall under non-self, or it's like who is doing the effort?
Yes. So now a very good question. So now when I say I am doing meditation, the question comes, who? For whom is this meditation? If everything is non-self, and why should I meditate? For whom it is? Right? Now, it's just like an example. That day I read out on that Mahinda, that story what I read out, right? So he asked this
Yes.
question, and for whom is this meditation? And he answers, Nagasena answers. What does he answer? He says, just like you call chariot, because there is no other way of explaining it. You have to call that I am meditating because there's no other way to explain it.
Okay, so because it's easier explaining like this body of 32 parts and these six senses are finally sitting still and becoming aware. It's easier to just be like, I am meditating.
Right. Okay. So that's called conventional reality. You require for conversations. Otherwise, it becomes too daunting to understand what the heck is he speaking. I don't understand what is he speaking, man. I don't. What does he say? 32 parts of the body and six senses, and that is sitting here, and that is doing this. I don't know why is he confusing so much. He could have just said, I have six senses and I have a body. That makes sense. But I don't want to use that I. Come on, that's okay. You can just put that I, but don't take it personally as my I. And hence anatta, non self.
Okay, and I mean, you've explained that to me before, and I mean, it's just when you hear it again until it fully clicks, then it like makes sense. But I do tend to like say, like, when a lot of information gets thrown at me, I I possibly kind of doubt my practice a little bit, which is not, or like maybe I'm not progressing right. So that's why it makes sense when you
Right, right.
always
You
say
need to. You
just
need to.
keep it simple.
I will give you another simple thing. If we say, I'm seeing, right? I'm seeing you. But who is seeing whom? The I is seeing another I in actual sense, right?
Yes.
Does it matter to the I what it is seeing? Matter. Does it matter to the ear what it is hearing? Doesn't matter. But it matters to the mind. It doesn't matter to the eye nor the ear, but it matters to the mind. What we are doing is through the language, whatever language, can be English or Spanish or German or Pali or Sanskrit or whatever that language is, we are trying to uncondition the mind. That's all. Even without that guy's intervention, the eye is going to see, right?
Yes.
Is going to see. As long as this eye exists, seeing is 100%. As long as the ear is hearing something is 100%. You just cannot say, I will cut the ear. Sounds stupid as an
Yeah.
argument. As an argument. If there were no ear, then you can't hear. If there were no eye, you can't see. If there somebody is blind, you can't make him see because he doesn't have an eye. In the same way, if you have somebody having an eye, he is going to see no matter what you tell him. Don't see, still he is going to see. I just can't say that, oh, you know what, you shouldn't be seeing. That's not fair. Yes, you see, but don't get attached to seeing. That can be done. As long as camera exists, its job is to go around until the camera breaks. That's the job of the camera. Whether it's a still camera or a video camera, its job is to keep on rolling. It doesn't take any picture. So the intention to take the picture is what mind is all about. So you and I are supposed to be working on the senses in not clicking it and taking the snapshot as mine. This is my picture. Wow, it looks good. That is not required. Even otherwise, if that camera were to look at that mountain or some seashore or beach or whatever it is, it would have been the same with or without camera. That damn thing existed like that. This camera is making things prettier. Where? Not there. Here. Because I am adding value to it. Oh wow, what a picture. Man, I've taken a beautiful one. What a photographer I am. Bullshit. That thing existed even before you took the picture. That's all what it is. So we need to see it like that. You see, hear, taste, touch, smell. It's been there. See, I take a pizza, whether it's a UH pizza or a Domino's pizza or a Pizza Hut or some other pizzas, or a Mexican pizza or an Italian pizza or whatever it is. If it enters through one hole and comes out another hole without asking a question, where should I throw the, or where should I digest the capsicum? Where should I process the tomatoes? Where should I process the onions? Okay, the pepper, where should I do that? It doesn't ask me anything. It goes through one hole, comes down another hole. That's all it knows. But the mind feels the pizza, this foolishness. And do I like what is coming down there then? That's the same pizza which is coming. And I feel disgusted. What Buddha says is that get disgusted when it is going inside itself. But that's exactly what is going to come out. Right? So when you do that, there's nothing to taste in the mind. You're just eating because you have to live. So the pain of eating is gone, right?
Right.
Otherwise, I go like on mad guy searching for pizzas and Taco Bell, I'll go here and I want to eat that. Yesterday I had Chinese. Today I'll try Mexican, man. This is great. A new store has opened up and it's pretty good, impressive. And today is Christmas. I need to have this, and tomorrow is that, and day after tomorrow is a wow, you know what? It's now I need to have turkeys because it is Thanksgiving. Which stupid guy said that you need to do a Thanksgiving? What are you thanking? What the heck are you thanking? I don't know. Halloween. Let's enjoy Halloween. Who says? It's a mind game. Is the food is the same. It doesn't matter what you eat, whether you eat marshmallows, you eat that, you eat chicken, you eat mutton, you eat pig, you eat whatever you want to eat. It doesn't really matter because the input is something prepared. Output is unprepared. You're not preparing it. You don't even want it in the first place. Does anyone store his feces at home? And
I hope not.
since it stinks, we have created a lot of perfumes so that it shouldn't be stinking. The washroom or the toilet shouldn't be stinking. We put in nice things. If it was so nice in the first place, why it stinks? Simple. So now I know there's no thing called pizza because it stinks when it comes out. So now that craving is gone. So when the craving ends, Nibbana is there. That's it. There's nothing like I need to do anything about it. It's there all the time. I never knew that Nibbana was there. I was seeking it. Like I go to a shop, I want to buy uh, a pound of Nibbana. It looks stupid. Come on, you don't get Nibbana like that in the shop. You stop pursuing and you are in Nibbana already. There's nothing else to do. Yes.
So say with that, when you start becoming aware of things, like you're looking at things as an observer and you're not getting attached to them, but you can still notice, because there are things that I'll notice that are pleasurable to me. Like,
Yes.
like say it's a certain color, like I'll be like, why do I like purple over green or something, and it's like, maybe I've just not developed enough to not have that at all,
No,
or
no, 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 no. Don't do that. In fact, there's a sutta where he says, pleasures of the senses is true. It's there. There is a pleasure of the senses. So if somebody says there is no pleasure in the senses, he is wrong. Number one. Number two, if you get into the jhanic pleasure, this pleasure is nothing when compared to that pleasure. Got the point? Meaning,
yes. So I mean, so it is okay to notice those things,
yes,
or
yes, why not? Why not? You don't get attached to it, but noticing it is fine. I shouldn't be fooling around with it. That's all. See, now I drink coffee. Coffee has a taste. I can't say that there is no taste in coffee. I'm fooling myself. There is a taste of coffee. But what I need to know, the moment it goes inside this esophagus, the taste is not there. It is tasteless. Tongue only has the taste, right? If somebody were to ask me, is there any pleasure in the coffee? I would say yes. Where? In the tongue. But the
Oh,
moment I gulp it, no taste can be found. Same thing with pizza. I put it in the mouth, taste is gone. After it enters the stomach, there's absolutely no taste. You just cannot say where it went, where the pizza went. After 2 hours, the damn thing is completely corrupted. You just cannot know. If you were to cut open the stomach, you cannot see where the damn thing is called as pizza. We don't know where it went. So, yes, there is pleasure of the sense, but it is so minute that you are going behind it, you thinking that you're going to get pleasure out of it all the time. It's not going to happen because you need to be refueling it all the time. And that fuel is the existence because you want to enjoy that, enjoy that, enjoy. So you have to keep on getting it. You're not going to get it.
okay.
You're not going to get it one time. No. So what he says is the senses, when you go, they're unsatiable. You cannot get satisfied by the taste or the touch or the smell or the thought or whatever that is coming in because they are momentary. They come and they go. Your mind latches onto it. I got it, got it, got it. Oh, I'll keep it. And the next one comes. It compares between this and that. This is more beautiful than this. It drops off, keeps this. That experience is gone. It has kept this experience. Then after a while, a better experience comes. So it throws off that and keeps this. So all jhanic bliss is like that. It keeps on throwing this out and keeping this, throwing this out and keeping this. So he says until the eighth jhana, it is conditioned. And then you practice throwing that out also. Then you're done. Got it.
Yes.
That's how it is. So I do beautiful first jhana. Very good, excellent. That means you're not going behind the sense pleasure. Even though they are pleasurable, you have found something which is more pleasurable than the sense. The sutta for that. Okay. And then you go to the second jhana. Then you throw out the first one because you don't find any pleasure in that because you have got a better pleasure here. And then when you go to the third jhana, you don't like the sensual and the first jhana and the second jhana. You like this because it's more pleasurable than the second one. Then you go to the fourth jhana. You feel, wow, I'm equanimous. Superb. This is great. You don't like the first and the second and the third and that senses, you throw it out. If anything coming on the senses, you say, hey, come on, I don't like you. Because there's nothing there in that. I found something better. Then you go to the fifth one. You feel even more charged up. Wow, this is infinite space. My God, this is far better than what I've enjoyed. Feel like I'm in air. Then you go to the infinite consciousness. You feel consciousness everywhere. There's not even one place there's no consciousness. Wow, this is even more great. Then you go to seventh one, nothingness. There's nothing in the senses. It's gone. You feel something extraordinary. Then you go to the eighth one, where you're neither alive nor dead. And that is far superior than all of them.
Okay.
When you see from there, the sensual stuff looks like shit. Come on, man. This is, I don't know how I was deluded in the past. That sight is going to give me this enjoyment, sound is going to give me that enjoyment. Nothing in this world is worth an enjoyable thing. So now you're establishing the eighth jhana. You need to work out a little bit, get rid of perception and feeling, and then feel, wow, there's nothing at all which is binding. It's unbound, it's unconditioned. So that's ends it.
Okay.
So it doesn't mean that the chocolate doesn't exist. It does. But you know, if you put the chocolate in the mouth, it stays only for a second till it goes to the throat. After that, gone. If I'm listening to music, I know that sound exists, but that music is going to go away, evaporate in a second. Because when the first tone comes, and the second tone comes, the first tone is gone, and the second tone is kept, and the second tone is gone, the third tone is kept. The stupidity of keeping throwing one, keeping other, throwing one, keeping other, right? So I will keep
Yeah.
something which is far better. So I will keep jhanas instead of this damn sound and sight and taste and touch and smell and thoughts. It's far better because I don't care what is coming to the eye. It's independent now. I'm not dependent any longer on that sight. If it comes, it comes. Doesn't come, it doesn't come. Who cares? Right?
Yeah, then they're just like they're a tool for you to use to like
Yes. You want
get
to
through
see
life.
something? I want to see something. I'm seeing it. Okay, done. I'm seeing. Right?
Yeah.
Now there's nothing. I want to see again. I can come back. Nobody can say there are no eyes. Yes, eyes are there to see. Eyes are there, but there is no enjoyment created in the eyes because I'm enjoying far better thing than seeing this. It pains to me that I have to see like this. But if I sit like this and get into the jhana, I don't have to turn anywhere. I don't have to turn towards the side, lend the ear to the sound. Some soft thing has come, get prepared to touch. Some nice smelly thing has come. Crazy. I don't require it. Okay, so that's all what it is. So let's end it because then it will be overwhelming for you. So let us stop, you reflect. I will try to upload this video in a while and you can watch it and we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you. That was like that was really good. I feel like I have a lot more clarity now.
Good.
All right,
Excellent.
thank you. You have a good morning.
Yes, thank you. I'm in the office today, so I'm having a good morning and have some meetings and all that. See, the fun part, I'm working, but I'm not really working, right?
Yes.
I'm enjoying,
Yes.
man. I'm not attached to anything, right? I'm just come here, do whatever to be done, and go.
Yes.
Nothing is worth holding on to.
Okay.
Good day, sorry, good night, and enjoy. Have sweet dreams. Don't get worked up. Don't worry about the Pali thing. We will sort it out for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye.